What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sip-Off, where we have drinks and we talk all things basketball. We got a jam-packed show for you. It is the NBA playoffs, so we have tons to talk about. But first, let me go ahead and get my guests on. We got Detroit Dom. What's up, Dom?
Hey.
How are you? How's your week?
I'm all right. It's been all right so far.
That
Nets had their back
sounds
up
not
against the
very
wall.
enthusiastic. You said what?
I said Nets had their back up against the wall. It's activate playoff
What's
mayor
the
time.
what is the score?
They just went to halftime. It's 58-47.
Okay. All right. I am sharing the show to one of the groups real quick.
Mayor's
How's your
got
week been?
15. Two more
Oh,
than
uh,
Bridges on 4 less shots.
okay. All right. What are you drinking tonight?
I have a shot of Fireball for when we do shots. This is
Okay.
a squadka, and there's some Rolling Rocks in the fridge.
Okay. All right. We got Will Vogel joining us as well. What's up, Will? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Ready for it to be Friday and excited for next Thursday through Saturday. My brother's getting married, so it'll be a fun time.
And on Thursday, you're going
Awesome.
to draft Anthony Richardson. Enjoy that.
No, I'm going to Charleston. I'm not going near that guy. Do not like that.
You hope not.
All right. We got Jen Matthews Lewis joining us as well. What's up, Jen?
Hey, how are you, Megan?
There's someone
doing
else
really
we can
well.
ask about Anthony Richardson.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I think in a year or two he'd be better than certain other quarterbacks that'll be out there that are getting all the smoke this right now.
2
But
years.
look how
not
all
next.
the people are all the quarterbacks who had all the smoke in the last couple of years. Where they at? People without all the smoke,
Mm.
they're doing better.
You should take
Just
Will
saying.
Anderson.
Huh?
I don't know why you traded up to take Will Anderson, but you should take Will Anderson.
Actually, our friend Phil Jones and I were chatting last night on Twitter, and love us.
All right. We got one
Good
more
self
guest joining us. We got Joseph Jenkins. What's up, Joseph?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How's your week going?
It's going good. It's going good. I just need to get a haircut.
Know the feeling. All right, guys. Well, what's everybody drinking? We saw what Dom was drinking.
I ain't
I've got
drinking nothing tonight.
Modelo, ranch water.
I ain't drinking nothing.
Okay. Nobody else drinking? Just me and Dom?
Non-participatory. Shame on all of you.
All
Hey,
right. Well, it's a
I'm
no
saving
pressure
that
type of
for
show.
next week.
So we are going to start off with the 1-8 series. So let's talk about the West first. Let's talk about Denver and the Timberwolves. Timberwolves had game 2 last night. It was 113-122 with Denver coming out on top. And then in game 1, the Timberwolves got beat 109-80. Thoughts on this series? Does anybody think the Timberwolves are even going to win a game?
I do. I think they're
Okay.
going to win. I think they're going to win a game at home because at the end of the day, the one seed did what it's supposed to do. You beat the team that you need to beat. Now we think they're going to get a game at home because Minnesota is tougher at home and they can play.
Oh, that was
Okay.
Sunday. Right?
I think
All right, Will. Will, what are you? I think they're getting swept. Get the brooms out.
I think
think
they're
there's-
getting swept.
Anthony Edwards had 41 points last night in a loss. Like, there's major problems.
Cat only had 10, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you need other contributing factors besides Anthony Edwards. You need Cat to have probably a double-double. You have to have other guys step up. But, man, you're facing MPJ, Jamal Murray, and Jokic, who's a defending two-time MVP. Yeah, good luck.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Murray went bonkers last night.
I got Nuggets in a sweep. I got Nuggets in 4.
Jim, he came for you.
I'm sorry. I was trying. For some reason, the link was set up for my page, but it disappeared like in the last 10 minutes. Sorry. Okay, I was distracted. Okay, what'd you say, JJ? I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry.
No, we said that Jay
Jay
came for you.
Shout
Actually,
out to Jay back in the comments.
I knew I was thinking about saying
Jay's the only person I've ever met that's better than any one of us, and
up.
he's not on the show. Just in the comments.
Jay, I'll have you go out to the gas tax this morning. Thank you very much.
Whoa.
Alrighty,
How
so
do we go from there to there.
Dom,
You didn't see Jay's comment, did you?
Dom, give us your thoughts on the Timberwolves and Denver.
You took most of the words out of my mouth. I didn't see it, but like right before you said it, I saw the box score and I saw Edwards go bananas. But Cat was not good the other night. And I mean, would it be the NBA playoffs without Minnesota getting there and winning 1 or 0 games? I think, like JJ said, they might take one, but I mean, this is your typical 1-8.
Denver has been suspect on the road, and they have lost in June. They've played
More suspect than Golden State?
Say that again? Not even worse, but the whole point is this team, I think, honestly, I understand why people are on them, but they're a little vulnerable. And again, Cat didn't have the best game. So it's not as if the Minnesota have been clicking on all cylinders, and typically you play better at home. Hence why you've seen the energy that Brooklyn tried to came out in the beginning.
Well,
the difference is,
like Will said,
that can change games outside of what the Nets don't have. And anybody like Bridges and Spencer are good, but Ant's the next level. Denver has a chance to lose the game out there. I actually had Denver, I think, in 6. So I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota holds serves at home.
Okay.
I would be very impressed if Minnesota won 2 games, even if it was just the 2 games.
All right, who's paying me my money whenever they get swept?
No, I think they're getting swept too.
I nominate Dom. He's loaded.
All right, run me 20 whenever they get swept, because
I'll take
all right,
that.
Jen.
I agree with you,
Oh,
Megan.
you'll take that action. All right.
10 and a bottle of
20 on it.
Oliver.
All right.
Got you, sis. I got you.
Okay, Jim, what are your thoughts on Denver and the Timberwolves?
I think Denver's pissed from last year, and I think Denver's going to sweep. I mean, they're playing more solidly as a team. They're just going to go for...
I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
Wasn't Jokic is already banged up, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say banged up.
I would say banged up. A little Arnaro will help them.
I think if they go up 3-0, he might sit, and maybe they lose that game, and then they'll come back and beat him.
Yeah.
Well, you think load management doesn't exist when you're banged up in the playoffs? You got the series.
That's why Kawhi Leonard.
I was just about to say, just ask Kawhi Leonard about that.
Aren't you proud of it, Megan?
See that they could rest. They get the thing sweep. They typically have more time to rest, like 3 or 4 or 5 days, because the other series are included.
Right.
True.
Okay, so then also I forgot about this also. So Brogdon just got 6th man of the year. Brown got coach of the year, and then Jaren Jackson Jr. got defensive player of the year. It should have been his 2nd one, but it's just the one.
Already.
They haven't announced anything else, have they?
Party last night.
No, not that I've seen.
Just
keeping updated with the Athletic pretty.
I'd love to know the amount of votes for 6th man, because all 3 of those guys could have won it. All 3.
Oh, right. Okay, so let's slide over to the 1-8 series over in the East. So we got Miami versus Milwaukee. Miami ends up taking game 1. Crazy game 1. You got Tyler Hero, who breaks his hand. Giannis has a lower back contusion / maybe broke his tailbone. Then you have the game last night, and even without Giannis, Milwaukee comes out on top, 138-122. Just looked like a really well distributed win. Like Lopez was your top scorer with 25 points. Drew had 24, 11, and 5. Like, just to me, when I look at it, it was that bench depth that made a difference for Milwaukee. But Joseph, since you started us off last time, Jen, I'm going to go back your way, and we'll go around that way.
I mean, I don't like Miami. I'm really sorry. I know Buckets is talented. I don't like the vibe Miami gives off. So that's just me. So I'm definitely rooting for the Bucks. But it did seem like a more well-rounded team win. Miami tends to, primarily depend on, and this has been their MO for at least since 2013, when I really started getting back into the NBA. But it's really been their MO to really focus on one to three players mainly. And Milwaukee passes the responsibility around, and therefore they're more of a unified team. Because Miami can go 99 out of the 100 miles to go, but they don't ever go that 100th mile. They don't have it.
You know what I saw when I was looking at the box score? Something, I mean, and it's not surprising, but 18 minutes, he only had 5 points, 3 assists, and 4 boards. Who am I talking about?
Bam?
You were talking about Kyle Lowry.
That's who I'm talking about. And they paid him how much money to be
Kyle
there?
Lowry.
I don't.
What'd you say, Tom?
I said, fuck fat Kyle Lowry. I fucking hate Kyle Lowry.
Why?
All right.
Tell us when you really
Okay,
know.
so
Really
tell
feels
us your thoughts on the series so far, and how far do you think it's gonna go?
Me, Jen.
Yeah, Dom, you.
Depending on how many more games Giannis misses, even if he misses them all, I think Milwaukee might win in 7. There's just honestly, like I said, even if Giannis doesn't play, like the reason Miami can't or won't win this series, and I hate to even say it, but he was most improved player last year, I think. It's Tyler Hero.
Right. I agree.
Like Jimmy can't do it by himself.
So
Only when he has.
Okay, so even without Giannis, they win this series in 6 or 7.
Yeah. Sadly.
Okay. Tyler says it ends in 5 without Hero. I'm inclined to agree also.
He's done. He's out for the playoffs.
Yeah, no, it's done. All right, Will, what are your thoughts on this series? If there's anything else you want to add, or like maybe how many games you think it's going to go?
Yeah, so, Milwaukee proved last night they can win without Giannis. Yeah, you got Jimmy Butler, who's really, really good right now, and then you got Bam Adebayo, but the Bucks have Middleton, Holiday, Lopez, and they're surrounded by shooters. So I've got the Bucks in 5.
How about Pat Connaughton with 22 and 26 minutes? That's why they won the ball.
Even Joe Ingles had a big game, 17 points. Allen had 16 points. Portis went for 13 and 15. Like, it was just a really well-distributed team win. Joseph, talk to us about this series.
I actually think it's going to 6, solely because Miami got the game that they weren't supposed to get, and that was the last one. And I wasn't surprised at Milwaukee. I said Milwaukee was going to blow out because when you lose your star player mid-game, you're not going to really get a rhythm because you haven't expected that to happen. So they struggled. Right. So when they came in this game, they had their plan. I know you guys don't like Mike Budenholzer's Megan, but he made the adjustment. And I knew that they were going to come out strong because they're at home. Now, given the fact that they lost that first game, I think Miami is going to get one at home because I always thought they was going to get one to begin with. I thought they were going to be down 2. Okay. So that's the reason why I'm going at 6. I will say, they're back to Jen's point. Miami doesn't like each other. Those guys don't get along too well. The one that, if you talk about Kyle Lowry, the one that's underperforming, given the fact that Giannis is gone, is Bam Adebayo. And at the end of the day,
Bam too,
top 5 defensive player of the year candidate, and you're going against a team that is with Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez. You got to be able to bring it a little bit more. And I will be honest with you, Bobby Portis is a rebounding machine. It just amazes
I
me
love
how
Bobby Portis.
he gets it going and stuff. But I expected them to come out and win. I expect Miami to win 1 at home and then Milwaukee close it out in 6.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I could see that. And so when we look at the box score on Miami side of things, you got Jimmy who had 25, Bam had 18, Vincent had 16, and then Martin and Oladipo both had 15 apiece. So we haven't even seen Oladipo's name on the rotation for a while. So I think he's been,
after the game 1 he had.
Right.
11 minutes.
I think you have to temper your.
You can't count on him back-to-back games.
Right, Megan said it correctly. I think you have to temper your expectations and understand. No, Miami knows they're not going to win this series. However, with Miami having playoff Jimmy at home, where your role players play significantly better and shoot better because they know the court, it's a good chance playoff Jimmy can will them to 1 win, which gets 2 out.
Right. No, I could see that. I absolutely could see it going 6 games. The way you explained it made sense. All right, so let's slide over to the 2-7 series. Let's stay in the East. We're going to go with the Celtics and the Hawks. So first in game 1, Celtics come out on top 112-99. And then game 2 was on Tuesday. Celtics came out on top 119-106. Do you got the brooms out, or do you think the Hawks actually get a win? Dom, start us off and we'll go around that way.
Brooms.
Or do you want me to?
Brooms. Okay. And also Atlanta is trading Trae Young after this year.
Absolutely. Okay. Will?
Like the Hawks were what? Hang on, Will. Real quick. What, 2 years ago the Hawks got to like the conference finals? Right.
But they fired their coach mid-season. So this is what happened. They fired their coach mid-season. They hired Nate McMillan. But at the same time that they hired Nate McMillan, a whole bunch of people came back from injury, like all around that time. And so it created this false narrative that Nate had coached them into the postseason. And that wasn't true. They had like 5 people come off the IR. That's
no, I remember. It's just they've been stuck in neutral since then, and now they're declining. And now they're done with Trae Young because he's James Harden 2.0.
Okay.
With the worst attitude.
Will, what are your thoughts on them?
So I'm going to explain what it's brooms. It's foregone conclusion. Once I saw that was a matchup in the playoffs.
So let's go.
What happened?
Brooklyn just cut it to 6.
Okay. Will, you said brooms, and what else?
The reason it's going to be brooms, you got Jaylen Brown, Derek White, both had double-doubles in the first game. Tatum had 25 points. Game 2, they had a 30-point lead at half. Brown and Tatum both had double-doubles. Smart had a near triple-double, and White had 24 points. You also have Brogdon. You have Al Horford. This team made the NBA Finals last year.
I miss Derek White.
And I don't think there's any flaw in this series that will hold them back unless somehow Trae goes off for like 50, but I don't believe that. Give me the Celtics in 4.
Okay. Joseph.
Yeah, that too.
So it's a sweep mainly because Boston's the better team. Point blank, period. Mm-hmm. They're just the better team. I don't think, and I want to kind of challenge Dom's notion about getting rid of Trae Young. I absolutely think that would be the worst decision for that team because, number one, you have to consider what this team went through. New coach, new player.
I'm not saying...
Hold on, Dom. Let me finish and you can interject later. No new coach, new point guard who is also a very talented point guard. Nobody gets it in 1 year. So at the end of the day, I think, and if you know a Quinn Snyder-led offense, it's predicated on movement and ball handling. And you got 2 guys can do it. If you watch them play, they're still trying to figure out how to make it work. And I do think
it's not a great fit.
Trae has significantly decreased the amount of threes he's taken, and it made him more effective, actually, And the thing is, the reason why I say he's not James Harden is because when the team needs help, he goes and let DeJounte try to prove his play. He wants DeAndre Hunter to get it going. What they really need is they need a big man that can be able to stretch the floor a little bit. Somebody like Miles Turner who can give you what Capella gives you, which is on the board, but also be able to stretch the floor from three. Because if you're able to stretch the floor from three with Trey being able to attack the basket, Boston could get beat because they're weak inside outside of Robert Williams. They don't.
What you're saying is get rid of John Collins. That's what I heard.
John Collins has underperformed since that point. But you have to think, I think Trey and DeJounte are going to work very well next year because both of them showed me when I've watched them play that they really want to see the other get off and be able to facilitate, and they got to work around. And you can move Trey like not the same caliber, but like Steph Curry, and you can get open threes because Trey is a great shooter. And if you keep moving that little man around like a little thing. So yeah, I got Boston in 4 solely because they're just the better team.
I agree. You have to pick
I'm gonna give the Hawks the same love that I give the Clippers. None.
I don't like the Hawks either.
Is that basketball related?
I'm going to say something real quick. I don't like the Hawks at all. Jen,
thank you, Will.
Like them. They're rival of us. But all I have to say, I agree with JJ. You have to do a pick and pop with Trae Young. You have to have him off the ball. You can't just let him do what Curry does and dribble, shoot. No. Have a point guard do like a pick and fade where he runs to the 3-point line, do a pick and roll, pass it back out so he can get a good 3-point look as opposed to just chucking him up.
Okay.
That's why you get rid of Trey, because DeJounte is a point guard as well.
Jen, so your thoughts?
You know my 2 teams, right, Megan? You know.
Right. Oh, Celtics. I know.
Celtics and my Hornets, right?
You got Boston in 3.
Right. It was over on game 1.
Yeah, it's already over. First of all, here's all I'm going to say about Atlanta, then we'll focus on Boston. Atlanta's just posing. They've always just been a poser. That's it all. Everything except for the Braves. Just saying it, putting it out there. They can go the distance sometimes, but they get in their own way. They just faking it. And they ain't making it. Just saying.
There's a certain power stretch 4 that might be leaving Washington that might be on the market for Atlanta to acquire.
I was thinking about you.
Really?
Possibly.
I was thinking about you the other day because I read an article about
the unicorn. Really?
Kristaps Porzingis.
No, not unicorn. I'm talking about Kuzma.
Oh, no, that makes me sad.
Fuck you, Kyle Kuzma.
Don't put your eggs in Atlanta's basket because they're gonna do what the Falcons did.
Atlanta doesn't really have Atlanta doesn't really have shooting outside of Trae Young.
Yes, I did say except for the Braves, Tyler. Yes, I did say except for the Braves. I promise you, I said except for the Braves. That being said,
they really are
the
good.
Celtics are just banging, and Megan, thank you for Derek. Appreciate you for that.
He baller.
He balling.
It was not that we didn't appreciate him. We love Derek White. It was the fact that we had to pay. We had 27 guards and we had to pay all 27 of them. And so we decided. Not yet. Not yet. We was trying to make cap room to pay DeJounte. DeJounte didn't want to sign his extension. We put all our eggs in DeJounte's basket, and now it's fucking Atlanta. All right, let's slide over to the other 2-7 series. We got the Grizzlies versus the Lakers. So game 1, Lakers go on the road and win 128-112. Ja hurts his hand in this game. And then in game 2 last night, we saw the Grizzlies bounce back 103-93. It doesn't sound like it's
coming up limping.
10 points doesn't sound like a whole lot a big differential. But really, the Grizzlies had control of the game the entire time. Thoughts on that? And start us off, Will.
Okay. I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm not a LeBron fan. He's a great player. Not a fan of his. The whole thing with him and Dillon Brooks is, I'm going to go to this series, trust me, in a minute. You poked an angry, angry bear. He said he likes poking the bear. Dylan Brooks, be warned, because I can see LeBron for some reason next game having a 40-point triple-double, and he's gonna talk smack to Dylan Brooks and be like, "Yeah, you like that? You like that? You like that too?" Even though, like I said, I don't like LeBron. Game one, like you said, they won. Hachimura at 20. Their role players showed out. Hachimura at
Hold
29.
on one second.
Austin.
Hold on one second, Will. I'm not sure who this is. If you'll go to my original page, if you'll go to my Facebook page instead of one in the groups and comment, we'll be able to see your name, or send us and let us know who's talking, because this is definitely an interesting comment, because I definitely think you could move Jaw around. But now finish, Will. Sorry.
No, you're good. Their role players showed out. Hachimura had 29. Austin Reeves had 23. LeBron had 21. D'Angelo Russell had 19. Anthony Davis had 22. And then the Grizzlies won game 2. But I've told people ever since I saw this series come out, it all depends on the health of Anthony Davis. It's been very crucial this year. There has been a difference between when he's on the court and when he's off the court. And that's going to determine the series. Do I think he's going to be healthy the whole series? Maybe. Maybe not. Either way, as much as this pains me to say, and I like Ja, I think he's a great player, and I like Desmond Bane. I've met Jaren Jackson Jr. when he was in Charlotte for All-Star Weekend. Huge fan of his. I just think the Lakers somehow squeak through this series. I think they win in 6, but it's going to be a hard-fought 6, and it's going to be a lot of wear and tear on Anthony Davis, LeBron, for sure, and it will push them to their limits, because we know Dylan Brooks likes to talk that smack. And I think the only way Grizzlies win this series is if Jaren Jackson Jr. can contain Anthony Davis, because he's a great defender, and Ja needs to play the rest of the series, and he needs to go off, and Desmond Bane needs to hit his threes like we know he can. But like I said, I've got Lakers in 6.
Okay, Joseph?
Wow, that's a lot to unpack, Will. Got a couple points I want to challenge on that real quick.
Several.
I only have Lakers in 6 because Ja's gone. If Ja was going, I would have Grizzlies in 6 because, yes, Anthony Davis is dominating. He's amazing. His defense is great as well. But at the same time, Memphis is a top 5 defensive team, and they have their ability to make some crucial plays on Anthony Davis, which they've done to be able to seal game 2. Now, don't get me wrong. If they had D'Anthony Melton on the squad or somebody else that was on this squad that could be able to facilitate, I would be okay to say they can get past the Lakers without Ja, because Tyus Jones is arguably the best backup point guard in the game. And, you see how he is effective in the game without Ja's presence. And I think for them, I want to touch the base on the LeBron thing with the whole Dylan Brooks. If he really was to try to go out and try to get a 40-point triple-double, I would bet about $100 that the Lakers would lose that game. Because, number one, LeBron is not – their team is not set up for that type of play from him. If you saw from the win for the record-breaking night against Oklahoma City Thunder, they didn't look good at all. It was just him going. So I don't think it's possible. I think Dylan Brooks knew that people were going to stir up trouble with this. And, well, people may not think he's baiting or not. He's trying to get them to bait and trying to see if they can get out here. If the Lakers just play their game, Wolves don't concern themselves with sheep, they can get out here and get this in 6. But if Ja comes back and Ja's healthy, which it's a questionable mark because it's his hand, I'm swaying it to the Grizzlies because I think I have
I'm going to agree with Tyler. Tyler said Grizzlies in 7.
Thank you.
I think that this is a series that the Lakers put up a really good fight on.
I can see that.
I think that while we know that the Grizzlies know how to win games without Ja. We know they can do that because they have tons of shooters. They have anybody that can go off. Jaren Jackson Jr. proved in game 1 he can be a shooter and be defensive player of the year as well. So that's somebody that I just love the development that he's had. But what they're gonna miss in this series, and it resulting in it being a 7-game series, is the fact that Steven Adams isn't playing. Not having that depth and that defense from Steven Adams is going to be a huge problem. Now, do I think that they still have more depth than what the Lakers have? Yes. Like, I think we're going to see a couple more games like what we saw last night where the Lakers falter. They just don't gel together consistently. Like they went on a great tear at the end of the season, made the playoffs, made it through the play-in tournament, made the playoffs. Like, they did really great, but I can't see them sustaining that in playoffs. Like, we know that the playoffs is like a mini 2-month season. Like, it's completely different than the regular season. So I feel like not having Steven Adams and not having that size is going to be a huge factor. So Jen, give me your thoughts on the series.
Can I ask a question to you?
Let's go.
Which is more detrimental, the rebounding ability of Steven Adams or the two-way ability of Brandon Clark, who can also rebound, as well as the offensive part? Because I think if Brandon Clark was playing, I can still see them stomaching without Steven Adams.
I forgot about that too. Like, they really are missing their depth and their size. Like, that's huge. Brandon Clark not being there is a problem too. But I still think even without those two players, if Ja comes back for the rest of the series, then I can see them winning. But it's gonna go the distance. It's gonna go 6-7. But I really feel like it's gonna be 7. All right, Jen, talk to us about what you think about this series, Lakers Grizzlies.
Okay. First of all, Dylan Brooks, you don't impress me that much. I'm really pissed off at you because you're going to make me defend someone that I don't like also.
Right.
But you sealed your fate, baby. I'm going with Will in 6.
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
Because LeBron James can still win a freaking game by himself. Like, Dylan Brooks is talking shit, right? He played 23 minutes and scored 12 points. 1 rebound and 3 assists.
Look at
we got the old man playing almost twice that. 39.
I don't like him either.
12.
Okay, hold on. Sidebar, Dylan.
Dom, let her talk.
Oh.
No, it's okay. What were you gonna say, Dom?
I said, look at LeBron's numbers when Brooks was guarding him. He's not there for offense.
Right. Well,
fair enough.
He's the new Bruce Bowen.
How many times?
Oh, I love Malcolm Brogdon, but he is not the best. Oh, you said best backup.
That's
my
debate.
Bad. You right.
But that's a debate.
LeBron is going to come.
You got quickly and Tyus.
Are the Lakers the championship? No way in hell. Of course, because they did choke and they will choke again. Agreed with you. That's why he had to get his Mr. Morant to come try to fight his battle with Mr. Sharp. Just saying. Got to get somebody else's daddy to fight your damn fight. God, that's pathetic.
Love it, Jen. Love that fights, Jen.
That being said, your weak ass played 20 minutes. LeBron's weak or strong ass played 39 minutes. Had a double, and you didn't. Shut the hell up.
I agree with Jen.
I mean, and I know LeBron, to me, LeBron is easily the most naturally gifted basketball player we've seen, but he gives up on his team, and that's why I don't like him. And that being said, Megan, I'm going to go take a
co-sign that 1,000%.
Okay, Jen, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Love you, sorry. I just want to pain
No, you're good.
Sometime.
Stay on 2 more minutes and talk shit about LeBron.
Dom,
yeah, we can talk a lot of shit about LeBron.
Can you make sure? Can you let me know the next time Cam Johnson hits a 3?
He just made one.
Just now?
Falling down for a 4-point play. Then he missed one.
Okay.
Get that board.
Let me go check my bet real quick.
Oh, he just hit a step back too, but not a 3.
Oh my God.
Mess. So talk to us about this series, so we can wrap that up and then move on to the 3 and 6.
Yeah.
My dog's so irritated.
Hand, right?
Yes.
That was already messed up.
It was banged up already.
And how did Ja hurt his shooting hand? Flying to the basket, like with no regard for anything because he doesn't have a job. I've been saying this for a year and a half. I think they can still win the series, as they should, because, like as you noticed, game 1 to game 2, Austin Reeves went nutty. Game 1 had 12 points. Game 2, Rui, I didn't think was going to do that well again, but I mean. There's no reason the Lakers should win this series, even with no Ja. If they were that Ja dependent, I would say yes. They got a double though. I forgot that Xavier Tillman was even on the Grizzlies roster, and
he's the top scorer last night.
I was going to say, was he their leading scorer?
Yes.
He was.
I saw it when I looked back, and I was like, I know who X Tillman is.
Granted, the team, if you have good defense and you have the ability to rebound, not rebound, but if you have the ability to shoot the three, which they do have,
It's like you said, Memphis is top 5 in defense,
they can
right?
get to the Lakers. Because at the end of the day, you know how if you want to really wear and tear Anthony Davis down, he may not be ready to play game 7.
He's Sherman soft, and that's top 5 defense, including however many games Ja started this year. And he
next series.
So let's slide over. Let's slide over to the 3-6 series because we still got 4 more series to go. Let's stay in the West. We got Golden State versus the Kings, the 3-6 series. Kings at the 3, Golden State at the 6. This is probably one of my favorite series, except for the next game, which is tonight. Is not going to be as interesting because it was so many people that were questionable. But in game 1, Kings came in and win 126 to 123. It was a very close game. It really came down to like 2 possessions, 1.5 possessions really at the end. And the Kings were able to win. Same thing in game 2.
Sorry.
It was a bigger deficit, 114 to 106. It definitely looked like there was a ton more bench production for the Kings. You had Mitchell, who is in their second year for them, who played for Baylor. He went off that game. I mean, not went off, but he did well coming off the bench, 14 points. Harrison Barnes had 13 points. Herter had 15 points. Monk had 18. Sabonis went for 24, 4, and 9. And then De'Arian went for 24, 9, and 5. So now this next game, which is tonight, no Sabonis, is that right? And then also no Draymond because he got suspended for that altercation. And then
suspending Draymond in the playoffs for crucial games.
GP2 and who else was listed as questionable? Oh, Poole. They were those 2 were
Wiggins.
also listed as questionable. Is Wiggins questionable also?
Yeah, I mean, if you believe what Bleacher
No, he's not.
It's day to day.
No,
but anyone that has a cut on their finger is day to day.
He's not questionable.
Right. Oh, cool. You were there for the Beam team. That's lit.
Like the Beam!
I love it. No, I just love it. I love it for the fans because you know what? Before this, they were kind of like what Oakland is going through, losing all their teams and just going through a lot. And everybody was talking about moving Sacramento to Vegas or just moving the franchise. And so happy for them because that is not going to happen now. Oh, and Sabonis is playing. Awesome. Thanks for letting us know.
Good.
Okay, so I'm going to start us off with this one. I think the Kings, I don't know. Like, this is just so different now. When I made my predictions going before the season or the series even started,
I said sorry to interrupt, but is it 2-2-1-1-1 or 2-3-2?
I think it's 2-2-1-1-1. Is that right?
Close. Should be. I went to look earlier and
they only did that 2-3-2 during that the Miami years, like 2021 to 2014. They haven't
right. I think it's 2-2-1-1-1. So I think I don't know. I had Golden State winning the series, but it going at least 6. But I could see it going 7 and maybe the Kings. So I think I'm switching it up. I'm going Kings 7.
Who do you want to go next?
Well, hang on. So tonight, okay, like home team is bottom, and this is game 2.
This is game 3.
Three.
Yeah.
Obviously, the next one
Kidding.
Is it not till Sunday? Game 3 is not till. No, they can't.
No,
be right.
it's tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah, Game 3 is tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, then they don't play until. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. I'm really confused, but I don't see how. And I said this from the beginning. Now it looks a little more interesting. Somehow I forgot. I don't know how, but Golden State is terrible on the road.
On the road. Mm-hmm.
But, and that's the difference. If it's 2-3-2 and they get those 3 home games, they'll be up 3-2. But
it's 2-3-1-1-1.
That's too many
No,
numbers.
it's 2-2-1-1-1.
1-1-1.
Yeah, I meant that.
I'm pretty
You
sure.
know what I mean.
I still think they win it probably in 7. But if
Golden
that
State?
third, yeah.
Okay.
But if Game 5 is in Sacramento, they might lose the series. Like I'm.
That's a
I
possibility.
love Sacramento's story. I absolutely love it. Just to see them back in the playoffs for the first time in forever. But they're number 1 in offense points per game, and they're bottom 5 defense. And Golden State's still Golden State. They're still probably top 5 offense. They may not have ranked there statistically, but when they're healthy, and they actually play defense, and they're the defending champs.
I mean, they don't all play defense, but Draymond can definitely defend all 5 positions.
As a team,
so when
they play defense,
Jordan Poole
more
not
than
defend
Sacramento
at all. Okay,
not.
Right. And Steph plays defense. He just doesn't play it well.
Thank you, Megan. He's just
not
not good at it. He's just not.
He
good
plays
at it.
defense. He tries.
No.
He's just
No,
he tries.
Dom. To be very honest with you, that's the thing. I've never had issue with Steph his whole career. He plays defense all the time. He just is not good at it.
He plays.
That's it.
Right. He tries.
Good at it.
A for effort, D+ for result. But he's
They
a
say
tiny little
defense-
fellow, and he's got
They
ankle
say defense
problems,
is half the effort.
and he ruined the NBA.
Oh God. Okay. So Will, talk to us about this.
Me?
Mm.
Ah.
That was the other guy
I
named
was like, who? Sorry.
Will
Yeah.
Vogel.
I feel bad for the Kings. I think the Warriors win in 7. I know the Kings are riding high. Fox is playing well. Monk's playing well. Mitchell's playing well. Sabonis is playing well. I'm a huge Sabonis fan. I'm a huge Fox fan. But you're facing the defending champs. You got Steph, best shooter of all time. You got Draymond. You got Clay. You got Wiggins. You got Poole. You got GP2. I think Kerr's going to push him and say, hey, guys, literally, we're the defending champs. We can't go out in the first round like this. This is just straight up embarrassing if we do. It would be a good feel-good story for the Kings to win, and it would be really embarrassing for the Warriors to be out in the first round. But, man, I got the Warriors in 7. I just think one of these games Steph and Clay are going to combine for like 25, 27 threes. But yeah, I got the Warriors in 7.
Okay. All right, Joseph.
Ironic we talk about this series when 2 people who said the Kings never had a chance just aren't here. I don't know where they are, but they're not here. Shout out Jahan and Steve Schwanda. To me, I
also did. I am here. I was the third person.
I had Warriors in 6 because, nothing about this series has surprised me. The Kings are the 3 seed, despite the playoff experience or not. They held home court the way they were supposed to. That's what you do when you're a top 4 seed or top 3 seed, really. I will say this. I want to see they've done this and they've got up 2-0, and they don't even have their full arsenal playing at their best. Keegan Murray, who is one of their best rookie one of their rookies.
Oh yeah, Keegan Murray is really good.
He can kill from deep, and he hasn't really been able to kind of get off because they never needed him. Now, I will say what is going to give Sacramento the best chance, and I know my guy is down here who seems like he's a Kings fan. Maybe he can agree.
He is a Kings fan, yeah.
The way you can agree is Golden State with the relentlessness of Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox is a problem. they do not have the ability to handle both of them consistently attacking them inside, left, and right. Now, the reason why I think this is going to go 6 is because I expect Golden State at home, where they play much better, to dominate and be able to bring this up to 2-2. But if the guy wants gentleman sweep in 5, they have to take game 4, because I don't think they're taking game 3. Game 4 is the one they want to have to take. But if it has to go to the distance, to Dom and you guys' point, you're banking on the Warriors, who was one of the worst road teams, to go into game 7 in Sacramento and come out on top. I'm just not sure I can sit there and say that, because they brought up a stat last night. This is why I love this guy. They brought up the stat how De'Aaron Fox won Clutch Player of the Year because he had the most clutch points. Then literally a minute and a half left in the game, he nails a clutch 3. That was insane to me. Like, that lets me know that dude is cold. He don't care what it is. If it comes down to it in a game 7 where he has a chance to get the win and will them off, I don't think nobody on the Golden State Warriors can stop him. I don't think so.
So who you got?
I mean, De'Aaron Fox.
I've got Warriors in 6 still, because I think they can get 1. But if this goes 7 and they're trying, and I don't think it's gonna be good for them to go 7.
I can see that.
Okay, but let's say they take it tonight and then they're up 3-0. We really think the Warriors come back from that?
Then it's possibly in 5. Then it's definitely possibly in 5.
I agree.
Okay. Because I definitely, because I mean, look, tonight they have all these people that are out, and I mean, it's looking like the Kings might be able to pull a road game. So 3-0, that's rough. All right, so
Golden State needs Jordan Poole to be Jordan Poole of last year, because he has not been the Jordan Poole of last year going into the playoffs. He got to come to play.
Okay, and so let's talk about the other 3-6 series. What's the score, Dom? Sixers Nets.
I think it's like 82-76.
Sixers still no. 82-76, end of third.
What did I just say? I'm watching it too.
Okay. Well, I'll start us off on this series real quick. I do think the Nets are able to grab 1, but gentleman sweep. And I know, Tyler, I know you hate that term, but I think that the Nets pull out 1 win, and that's it. The Sixers, I do think that the Sixers get past this series, but I don't think that they're going to be the team that makes the Eastern Conference Finals. So, Joseph, start us off.
I'm with you. Gentleman sweep, because this is the game that I expected them to get, was back home. Because you just have to think a team is going to get some night catch fire at home and win one, despite if they're the 1 seed or the 8 seed or the 6 seed or whatever. That's the reason why. Philly's too strong. Philly is that team. Now, something to watch is how they're going to monitor Joel Embiid off his back and everything. But it's just, and the one person that finally got it going, he just relished in these moments, is Tyrese Maxey. That kid just loves the playoffs and pressure. And the thing is,
he's the best player in the NBA that no one's ever heard of.
I think if you had the same team and you took out Bridges and Dinwiddie and you had, let's say, Kevin Durant on this team, I think this team would be still a lethal team. They just don't have that superstar, and they're a really gritty team. They're really tough. They're really great on defense, but and Mikal Bridges is coming out. I just think that it's just they're going against a way too strong of opponent in Philadelphia.
Right. But don't get me wrong. I love how much Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges have stepped up over there. And even just on their work ethic, like, look at what Monty said today. He was like, I've never cried about a trade before. He was like, but I cried about this trade to let those two go. But of course you go for KD if you have the chance. But to let those two go, it was drastic just because of how well they gelled with the team.
But I think to your point, and I'll let Will and Dom go as well, CP3 is getting older. If you really want to get him a ring, you got to do something. No,
you go. If you have a chance at KD right now, you go for it. I mean, that's what you do. All right, Dom, you can go ahead.
Yeah, Nets hopefully take 1. I think I mean, you
Harden was
lost.
ejected.
Huh?
Harden was ejected. It just went across
For real?
They said
Love
Harden
that.
was ejected. So
He got my three. He got my three. So I'm
he gave
good.
someone a slap in the nuts, and they called him for he literally went with his off arm and slapped my man's in the nuts. I don't know. Ooh.
Oh.
Okay, Dom, continue.
But yeah, long term they'll be better off, but to trade away within, I don't know, 2-3 weeks of each other, like two of the 6 or 7 best offensive players in the league. To my own credit, from the beginning, I said this would not work. KD and Kyrie. Like, KD went to the wrong New York team, and then he teamed up with Kyrie. And they had Harden, and then they really knew that was going to work. So they're like, wait, like, this never, like, we know for sure this is not going to work with Harden. We're not getting a ring with James Harden at all. But.
Okay. Will?
I think it's a sweep.
Embiid is gimpy.
I think Philly's too tough. Even without Harden the rest of this game, you got Tobias Harris. You got Joel Embiid, who's looking like he's probably going to win MVP. You still have James Harden for next game.
And now there's the Embiid rule for MVP.
I'm not done yet, Dom. The Nets are a good team. Yeah, Dinwiddie's a good player. You got Cameron Johnson, who's developing, and he was a really good player on that Phoenix team. And then you have Mikal Bridges. But like I said, this team is too young, and they're all young players. There's no ball dominant player that's like, yeah, you're the main dude. Like, yeah, it looks like it's Dinwiddie, but they don't have that like star who's like dropping 25 a night. It's just a bunch of role players. But anyway, with that being said, yeah, Philly is just too tough. And I just saw a stat before the fourth quarter started that the Nets are 0-6 this year against the 76ers. And yeah, it's probably going to be 0-8 when the series is done. So yeah, maybe in a few years when Brooklyn gets that kind of 25 point per night guy who's not like a ball hog or anything, who can work with Cameron Johnson, Mikal Bridges, and Dinwiddie to get better and help them get better themselves. But yeah, Philly in 4.
I just want to say one thing to Dom and everything. Number one, I think you have to factor in something that I didn't hear you speak of when you were talking about it. Did anybody predict COVID? No. So when COVID happened, that's
why the Lakers won the title.
Hold on, not even talk about that, but half of the time Kyrie didn't play was because he didn't believe in vaccination. So if we take out the COVID aspect, he would be playing with Kevin Durant for the whole season. When they were together, and when they were together, they were effective. And let's not forget, we are 1 inch away from Milwaukee not having a title. 1 inch.
Also,
so it's not as if it wasn't any reason to feel like they could get it done. They were 1 inch, and Kevin Durant didn't have James Harden play his best, and Kyrie was back and forth. When they were clicking, you saw the potential of that team. And the reason why I say to wield them together is Kevin Durant, when he first had James Harden, wasn't a champion. He got him this time, he was a champion. So if you become a champion, and not 1 time, 2 times, 3 times possibly, you know how to win with guys that haven't had a chance to experience a championship yet.
KD missed that whole first year with the Nets.
We he did. Yeah, we got 2 more series to do, and we're almost at an hour. So let's try to wrap it up. We got the Knicks and the Cavs as our 4-5 series over in the East. In game 1, Knicks won 101-97. Knicks being the road team. Next night on Tuesday night, the Cavs came back and won 107-90. It was a rough game for the Knicks. They just could not get a shot to land. I do think that this is another series that has the potential to go 7 games. But I'm going to take the Knicks. I think that they have more. I just like defense. I mean, and obviously it's a coach-tip team. It's a coach tip team, so they're going to have defense, and I think that that's important. Now, do I think that they can make it out of the second round? I'm not sure, but I think they make it to the next round. Joseph, start us off.
My favorite series. Now I would have to say, Megan, Cleveland played some defense, bro. They last night.
They did. No, they did. They did.
They're Isaac Okoro, Karis LeVert, all of them. They made life hard for Jalen Brunson, but I think they had to because the one game that they were expected to win to come in was the game that they lost, and Jalen Brunson kind of showed up. To your point, I think they're both great defensive teams. They're both fantastic. I just think that the Knicks are a little bit better as they're playing as a team right now. I love, but don't. It's going to be tough. We had this going 7 all the way through, but I think that the Knicks with Jalen Brunson is going to come down to that game 7. I think he's going to relish in that moment because he's already faced Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs last year.
Okay, Will.
I'm going to go real quick. Game 1, Brunson had 27, Randall had 19, Hart had 17. Game 2, Cavs won. Mobley, Mitchell had double-doubles. LeVert had 24. Garland had 32 points. I agree with you guys. I think it's going 7, but I've got Cavs in 7 in a very, very close nail-biter game. But, yeah, I got Cavs.
Thank you so much.
I got Cavs in 7.
Okay. Dom.
Knicks in 7. I don't know why anyone said that the Cavs play defense because they don't. Jared Allen plays defense.
They're number one. They're number 1 in defensive rating and points per game allowed. They definitely do play defense.
Cleveland?
Cleveland is number 1. They definitely
points
play
against.
defense.
Really?
Watch Isaac Okoro. That man,
I believe you.
That man locking it up.
Whatever I heard.
And I wondered what was happening to Jared Allen this season because there was a lot of times where he wasn't putting up no points.
Yeah.
Like
so
kind of short on the board. I love Jared Allen. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's the day I die. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. It just seemed like he had an off season, and I didn't know if that was because Mobley has been playing so well when they just can't figure out how to work with both of them at the same time, or what the difference was if they just played better when Mobley was in the game. But I love Jared Allen, so don't get me twisted on that. Now let's slide over to the last series, the Clippers versus the Suns. Game 1, Clippers come in and win by 5 points on the road, 115-110. Then game 2 was on Tuesday night. The Suns came in and had a dominant win, 123-109. And then their game starts in about 25 minutes again tonight. And they will be in LA. No Kawhi, no PG. Dom, Will, you start us off.
Yeah, both games are awesome. Game 1, Kawhi had 38 points. Eric Gordon had 19. Game 2, Suns won. Durant had 25. Booker had 38. Aiden had double-double. Yeah, I think it's going to be a back and forth series. And I think that it's going to go to Game 7. And I think it's going to hurt that the Clippers don't have a guy like Paul George to help Kawhi if Kawhi is available for Game 7 and Westbrook. But, yeah, you're facing Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. Chris Paul was one of the best assist guys. You got Booker, who's a Kobe-esque player. And then you got Durant, one of the top 5 players in the league. So with that being said, I've got Suns in 7.
Suns in 7. Okay. Dom.
Yeah, Suns in 6. That was an offensive foul. They called it, I think. Will, were you watching, when you were talking, that sloppy, almost 3 turnovers back and forth?
I shut it off.
Shame on you. Yeah. The Clippers, their best chance to do anything was during COVID, when they could have faced the Lakers in any round in Orlando in a bubble with no people. They weren't ever going to beat them in any amount of games in LA, even with the Clippers floor for 4 of those games. Yeah, Clippers are done. I absolutely love the pairing of Kawhi and Paul George because they both play defense. But Kawhi, between getting hurt and load management and then playoff PG, like they're done.
So I think we need to remember this team has been used to playing without Kawhi and Paul George for quite some time. Terrence Mann, Norman Powell, all of those guys, they know how to play.
That's why I hate putting prep bets.
And then last year, they said after Ty Lue know how to coach this team and help them get to the play.
Uh-oh. Joseph?
Oh, no.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Hello? So I was saying,
Yeah,
when
good.
that happened, that showed Kawhi and PG they believed in him. And now get to this series. If there's a matchup of 2 players that is my favorite, it's Kevin Durant versus Kawhi Leonard. Not just because they're 2 of the premier talents on both sides. They're 2 of my favorite players of all time. And I think that Kawhi, whether you like, he money. He is money. They won that game in game 1 because of Kawhi. And we have to remember, these guys have a battle within each other. When's the last time Kawhi and KD faced off in the playoff matchup? And how did that result? In the finals when Toronto was with Golden State and Kevin Durant didn't really get his play.
Yeah,
so
that's a good call.
Matchup, I think it's going to be I had said Suns in 6, but if it gets to 7, I got Clippers, but I think I'm gonna go Suns in 6, but I think I'm trending. I'm treading.
I could see it, but it's pointless because
my nephew was calling me. That's why I kind of lost service a little bit. So I do have to go.
Oh, no problem. Okay.
All right.
No, you're fine. Because I'm just gonna give my take on the series real quick, and then we're done. I do think that I'm gonna go ahead and say Suns in 6, exactly like what Tyler said. I think that when your superstar is okay with sitting out with soreness, and it's the playoffs, and you're in the 4 and 5 seed, like, what are you doing, bro? You're sitting at home. But I'm not surprised that he's done this because he's shown us this time and time again. This is what he's gonna do. So no surprise. Cheers to the NBA playoffs. Love it. And
you love Kawhi.
No, wrong hand. Let's do that one.
F Kawhi for the rest of my life.
Yep.
Good night.
Wait,
Good night,
real quick. Which team is better and could go further? Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, Clippers, or Kawhi and PG, even though they're both missing a game?
Fuck, and I hate Blake Griffin almost as much as I hate Kawhi.
No, you love Blake Griffin.
No, fuck no. It pains me to say it, but
Clippers. It was a trick question.
Oh, okay, because it's Clippers and they ain't gonna do anything anyway. Good night, y'all.